Hey everyone, welcome to Cupboard Creations. My name's Gareth and this is my little corner of the internet for playing with my food. Today I'm doing something really fast, kind of like a weekday meal type thing. Really cool. It's my spiced lamb couscous. Now it came from me trying to come up with an alternative to like biltong and stuff like that when I was sitting there watching the rugby. And I kind of came up with this idea of just slicing lamb really thinly, just tossing in some spices. And it works beautifully well. Get those spices right. It's a really kind of Moorish, nice kind of snack and costs a lot less when you do it yourself. And we've all got to watch that these days. It's all getting a little bit expensive out there. So we're going to use like a really simple cut of meat, just kind of lamb leg steaks that you can get down either your butchers or any supermarket will do them. Really kind of much cheaper cut than trying to use cutlets and things like that. So to get cracking, we'll start with the rub. Now, to do that, very simple. You're going to need some smoked paprika. You're going to want about half a teaspoon of smoked paprika in this. So, like so. And then we're going to want ground coriander. And again, half a teaspoon. Like that. And then last but very much not least, I'm going to use a bit more of this. It's garlic granules. I absolutely love this stuff. I don't know why it's become one of my favourite new ingredients. I never used to use it before, but it's absolutely fabulous for this sort of thing. So just put a whole teaspoon of garlic granules in there. And then, nice and simple, your usual salt and pepper. You always got to put a bit of salt and pepper in. So just a good pinch of salt. And a couple of grinds of black pepper. There we go. I really need to buy a new one of those. That thing is on its last legs. So give that a good mix up. And that's it. There's not a lot there, but that is going to like get into all of that meat. It's going to really kind of lay on the top. So you're not penetrating it, you're just using like a dry rub, just to get an outside kind of flavouring to it, which is really good. So now your lamb leg steaks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these just so I get those extra bits of fat off you just don't need. And that's going to make this actually a pretty healthy meal, to be honest. Once you've trimmed these down, they're going to be pretty lean. Brilliant. So that's trimmed all the fat off it. And now all we're going to do is we're going to cut that into like nice thin slithers. So you don't worry too much if in trimming the fat you've torn it apart a little bit. Doesn't make any difference. And just grab it and just cut. You only want them a cup of meal thick. So nice thin, as if you were doing something like a kind of chili beef you get at a Chinese restaurant. Really thin, lovely slivers of it. Then once that's done, toss it straight in that dry rub, get it all mixed together. So here we go, just really thin slithers. Means the whole thing goes a lot further. Brilliant. So all those slithers, we just chuck them straight into that rub. Move that out of the way and give it a really good mix. Get them all really well coated. And you'll find that it will end up, you'll know they're coated because it'll end up picking all of that rub. You won't end up with any bits left over at the bottom. So if you're still seeing a bit hanging around, keep mixing. Okay, so that's all done. Now we're going to turn our attention to that couscous. So you can use any type of couscous for this you like. I mean, I only ever thought there was one really until I went down the road and I found there was normal couscous, whole wheat couscous, giant couscous. So pick which one you like the most. So I'm going to use whole wheat couscous for this. Mostly because they didn't have the normal stuff when I went down there. But each one's going to have slightly different instructions on the back. But you're going to want about the same amount. So you're going to want about 80 grams to serve two. So we will just measure that one out. Perfect. So we can pop that there. And the bit you're going to differ here is instead of using water, I'm going to use stock. So I'm going to make myself a quick vegetable stock, get it really, really hot, make sure it's boiling before we put it in there. So catch you in a sec. Okay, so that's my veg stock done. So depending on what couscous, again, depends on how much. Usually with normal, for 80 grams, you can look about 120 mil. For the whole wheat stuff, probably 200 mil. So when making it with your veg stock, don't make it 200 if you're using like the cubes or the little pots, because it's just going to be far too intense. So make a full lot, and then just, if you don't use it, you don't use it. So you're going to put about 200 mil in, which is about that much. And then we're just going to cover that, and that's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes, and that should be done. So now we just want to put a little few things together. So we're going to use some sun-dried tomatoes. You're going to want about 6 of these, more if you really, really like them, like I do. And we're just going to prep this now, so when it's done we can put it all together really, really fast. So there we go. And then all you want to do is just chop them down in a nice little slithers. All about chopping things fine, this bit. There we go. Those will carry right through all that couscous, give it a really nice flavour. And the oil, sorry, need that. The oil itself will actually help kind of make it a little bit more silky. You'll get a really nice flavour from that. So we can pop that there, and then we want some olives. Now I'm using Kalamata olives, which are the kind of, they're not the black ones, they're not the green ones, they're the purple ones. I absolutely love these. But again, either one, green, black, Kalamata, all work fine. Just unlike me, try and get the ones that have already been pipped, because this is going to take me a little bit of time. But you're going to want probably a dozen of these. And then again, just chopped up small. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Catch you in a sec. Brilliant. So finally got through those olives. Now, again, just chop them down really rough. Just kind of in a little bits. That'll do. There we go. Nice small chunks that will kind of go through the couscous. You get a nice bit of each flavour in every bite then. Lovely. So those are together. Last bit we're going to put in there, some parsley. So you just want just a small handful of flat leaf parsley. Stalks and everything. Like that. Yeah, so yeah, small handful. And then again, just chop it up nice and rough. That's everything ready for the couscous. It's still going to take probably another 5 minutes or so, so we can head over and cook the lamb. It's cut so thin, it's going to cook really, really fast. Right, so I've got my pan on the heat. That is, yeah, pretty swelteringly hot. And that's what we want. We're going to do this really fast. We're going to get a nice kind of crust to the outside. So just going to put a bit of oil in, whatever's your favourite. About a tablespoon or so. Use olive oil. I'm using vegetable. Just vegetable, you won't get much flavour with it. But something like a groundnut oil, if you've got some of that, would go really nice with this. A little bit of that nutty flavour in there would be really good. So then grab your lamb and just pop it in. Because that is cut so thin, it's not going to take any more than 5 minutes to cook through. You're going to get a lovely charred outside to it. Okay, there you go. 5 minutes later, that's done. We can turn that off. It's got a really nice kind of slightly charred edges to it, which is going to be beautiful, almost like it's been done on a barbecue or something. Really, really cool. So now we're basically done. We can just smash it all together and go off and enjoy our lovely meal. So I'm going that way to put it all together. Okay, so the couscous. Hopefully that is done. We'll give it a quick check. It looks good. Yeah. Yeah. Cooked. And you can really taste the kind of stock in there makes such a difference to just doing it with plain old water. So it's going to be really easy. So you can grab that, chuck all our stuff in. Now we just want to give that a bit of a stir around, get it all lovely incorporated all the way through. And what you'll see is the kind of oils from the sun-dried tomatoes and those olives will really kind of start to make that couscous glisten a bit. If there's not enough oil in there, which probably isn't in this front, because I've spent far too long chopping it up and trying to sort out cameras and things like that. So we're going to pop just a little drizzle of olive oil, about a teaspoon or so, on top. We're going to throw the cap everywhere. And then just, again, give that a mix through. Don't want to put too much oil in, because then it just becomes a bit too claggy. But that's it. That is looking great. So there we go. We can grab ourselves a plate. Pop a good portion of this on the middle. And then grab our lamb. And that lamb had a little bit of time there to rest. We're just going to pop that on top. And that is a lovely, lovely, quick and easy kind of summer meal, that. And you can use the cheaper cuts of meat, get that rub into it. It will taste really, really good. And if you really enjoy it, you make it, leave that lamb to go cold and just eat it like a snack. It's really, really delicious. So there we go. That's my spiced lamb couscous. A nice, easy, light meal for a summer's day. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you give it a go. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers.